embroidery.com. Here today to talk to you about beginning stitching. I want to turn you on to embroidery. I want to get you to feel comfortable trying this project out. And while any of our kits really would work for a beginner, except I would say not on the canal, but any other one really would work for a beginner, there are some that are especially well suited to a beginner. And one of those is Charmed Cottage, which is pretty new, and I created this specifically for first-time stitchers or even children who want to stitch. And here's what is a big part of the difference is everything's scaled a little bit larger, so you would make bigger stitches. You wouldn't have to get so teeny with them. There's fewer stitches. So if, for example, see that cottage that's in here? It's very similar to the cottage that's in Ursa Duet, but it's simpler, right? You can see how it just doesn't have as many details and it's bigger. Same thing, that fox comes from our cuckoo clock kit. The clouds come from On the Canal. So the stitches are just simpler to render. And here's another thing that we've done is we've tried to keep it less expensive. So with all of our kits, usually the fabric is printed on 10.5-inch square and they're usually framed in a larger hoop. But this is 10-inch square. So I've done a few things to really get the price down on this. It uses just 5 skeins of floss, 5 colors. Our other kits can go to as many as 8 skeins of floss. Most kits include this teacup needle minder. That little teacup is a magnetic needle minder. We've left that out, and but you still do get the needles. And the other thing that we've especially done to make it great for first-time stitchers is, so with any kit, you get a stitching guide, right? You get a 4-page stitching guide. So here's To the Woods, and there's always the diagram, and then there's always a first-time a new stitcher start here section that walks you through which stitches to do first so that you're working with the easiest stitches and you're working up and you're getting your comfort level. But then there's also advanced tips and there's more tips. But with this one, I've really gone into detail. The stitching guide is all written for a first-time stitcher, so there's lots of detail there about it, and of course you get all the stitches too. So this is priced at just $29. Our other kits are $35. So you can get in at a lower price with this. So let's say, and if you're giving this to a child to embroider, I would probably add on these Fiskars scissors, which are folding scissors and they're blunt tipped. And you can also add on a second print because there's enough floss to stitch this twice. So if you're going to stitch it with someone, you could share the floss. So you could even do that to keep it even more affordable. It will come with two stitching guides, 2 pieces of fabric, and you would just share the floss. So if you had 2 children that you wanted to stitch it, you could do that. But let's say you want to go something a little more grown up in styling. Hen and Fox is another great kit for a beginner. Isn't this cute? I love it. And again, this is a little bit smaller, so simpler. The barn is just a really fun place to start with backstitching, whipped backstitch. Those are easy stitches to do. And then you can move on. You get to play with some lazy daisies. These are all straight stitches here on the windmill and then fastened down with another straight stitch. So you've got a lot of starting points because when you're first embroidering, it's not so much that stitches are hard. It's that you just need to get used to putting the needle in and pulling it through and making sure that you pull the needle all the way through on the back. Do I have a, I don't think I have something to show you right here, but you just got to make sure you pull the thread all the way through, and you just got to get your rhythm and get the hang of it. So this is the kind of kit that makes it kind of comfortable to get your rhythm and get the hang of it. Another kit that's a great beginner kit that sticks with pretty simple stitches is Galaxy. Love this one, right? And isn't this timely with all the space travel we've got going on? So Galaxy is another one that's not real difficult to do. And then Lighthouse is another one, and this is a really more adult motif, but lots of back stitches here. Lots of back stitches, straight stitches, outlines, not super complicated. So if you want to get started, I think Charmed Cottage is a wonderful place to start with a lower price point and a guide that's written specifically for beginning stitchers, and it's also suitable for a child. And then Lighthouse, Galaxy, Hen and Fox, and you can find, I've got a link here that's grouped just these beginner kits together over on our website at stitchedstories.com. Happy stitching to you guys. Bye now. Oh, and look, I got a couple of comments here today. Jana said, I like simple stitches. Yes, I'm not an experienced embroiderer. And Jimmy says hello too. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jana. Thank you so much for popping in and commenting and letting me share these beginner kits with you. Bye, guys.